NOS Dutch Public Television. All these exercises, these proposals of you, aren't you afraid Russia will see that as a provocation, for example, whilst policy has been...
All the actions that we have proposed and have been accepted today are clearly defensive in nature, and I think it's going to be very straightforward to see them as defensive in nature. They are designed to assure our allies, and so I think that in any case, it's always a chance that you run that something might be misinterpreted, but we specifically design these measures to assure our allies only and to be clearly seen as defensive in nature.
Many member states have offered troops, ships. How necessary are those troops?
So I think it's important. I'm very pleased with the offers from the nations. We've had offers even today from nations for land components, sea components, and air components. They are all important. I think it's very good to show how broadly this is being supported in the alliance. We are completely committed to our Article 5 collective defense, and this will be a show of that. It's important that nations remain and still consider giving more forces, because I've been tasked in these immediate measures that we were accepted today to be able to sustain them all through the end of the year. Later in the year, the ministers will meet again to decide how much farther they are extended, but my task in the short term is to make sure that they are sustainable through December 31st, and they will be.
So to be clear, you need more than what is offered now?
I think it's important that all the nations participate and that we have a robust capability to carry these immediate measures all the way through December 31st.
General, could I ask you whether you think that the numbers of U.S. forces in Europe at present should remain around that number? Do you think it would be a mistake to pull out substantial U.S. forces from Europe?
I've said before that I think that what has changed now in relation to this new paradigm that we have seen in the activity of the Russian forces, it's important that we now take a pause and determine what is appropriate for U.S. forces in Europe, and I'm having those conversations with my capital as it speaks.
Can you take us back just a little bit to explain to us why are these measures needed, measures like taken today?
We are doing this for really the reasons I just mentioned. We have seen a Russian force that exercised, brought itself to high readiness, positioned itself on a border, and then came across an international border, imposed its will on a sovereign nation, and now has annexed a portion of that sovereign nation. That changes things. We need to now take measures to assure our allies of our complete commitment to our Article 5 collective defense, and that's what these measures today are about.
And just one last question. What are we about to see concretely happen? Like, what are all these measures going to, how are they going to be implemented? What is going to be visible?
It's inappropriate for me to comment about that right now. Today, my package of measures were approved, and so tonight or tomorrow morning I will deliver to NATO a specific set of line-by-line units, locations, intentions for them to look at, and then we will begin to implement. After that review, then NATO will talk about specifics.